a warm welcome again, friends. The entire agenda of this webinar is to introduce our accelerator program to the group. We intend to launch this from 1st of October. There are many elements, critical elements that are work in progress, and as we speak, we are ready with many of those artifacts which we'll roll out as soon as this webinar is also over. The idea is, before, there are many questions when an accelerator is launched. Why, what, and how of it. The idea of this entire session is to answer those questions, also to take you through the credentials of the Digital Fifth, of what we exactly are. Some of you would know us, many of you would not know us. Even if you know, there will be many questions, because this is a different ball game altogether what we are attempting here. So that entire objective is to address those questions and see how we can work together. Next, Shashank, next slide. Okay, so the three critical components of what we exactly do, ever since we started, we have been very much focused on fintech and digital. Our focus has been only in BFSI space, banks, NBFCs, wealth management, mutual fund, insurance, and other fintechs. Three critical components that we work upon is consulting, partnership, and training. And in subsequent times, you'll see how this exactly fit into the accelerator framework also. Typically, this is what even accelerator framework would also we be running up, and that's what we are doing. We consult banks, we consult fintechs, we consult them on the business side, on the tech side, on culture change. That's the whole whole object agenda that we work upon. We offer Chief Digital Officer as a service, CTO as a service, co-founder as a service. When we actually run you through the work that we have done in the consulting space, you will see how exactly that these things actually come out live. Partnership is again our mainstay business. We connect startups with customers, we connect fintechs with customers. The end objective is to make business happen. We very firmly believe as an organization that if there is business, there is investor interest also. So with that, we've been doing this for the last 3 years. And one of the main components of this is our Fintech Bazaar, which brings in customers and startups under one roof on a given day, where multiple meetings happen as a speed networking event, and we have seen very strong results coming out of it. The third one is training. We have trained bureaus, we have trained credit rating agencies, we have trained some of the largest consulting firms. In our open participation programs, we have seen a lot of these companies, banks, fintechs, insurance companies, consulting firms, network companies participating in our training programs, which is what a mentoring actually consists of. Next slide, Shashank. Shashank.
I moved to next slide.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So as I was telling, if you look at, we said this is the Digital Fifth Accelerator. This could be any accelerator slide. What exactly it looks like: the business models, investment opportunities, networking, partnership, and monitoring. We can say monitoring, we can say mentoring. All of this is part of it. This is precisely what you do. As we go into our subsequent slides, you'll see how in our consulting space, we have been doing, we are helping fintechs to come up with new business models. We have helped the fintechs launch their companies, launch new business models, new products. We are helping fintechs right now in investments. Networking, again, as I said, through a partnership program is our mainstay. We do many other works in networking. I'll show you in our subsequent sites. Again, partnership is what we keep doing on a day in and day out basis. We connect people. Is there a question or something?
No, I think you continue. We'll handle that.
Okay, there's some noise. Okay. So again, partnerships is again our mainstay. We connect fintechs with banks, we connect startups with customers, uh, uh, and ensure that business happens. Monitoring, again, we have seen, it's not just one of consulting service that we do. Our model has been that we stay put, we ensure that the project goes live, that the firm launches its products. It could be payments, it could be lending, whichever space they operate in, we ensure that that the product, that their company goes live, and that's what has been our mainstay. Uh, Next slide, Shashank. So if you look at it, this is what we talk about our partnerships. We have done 12 bazaars, almost one every quarter since we started this organization. These are one-on-one sessions, close to 1,000 plus sessions that have happened. 70, I think these numbers should improve now. And the last count which I did yesterday, we have 100 plus customers on BFSI side and 100 plus fintechs, startups who have participated in our bazaar so far. 200 plus have been the potential deals that have happened, and this we know because we get the information back either from the startup or from the customers that they have done the deal, that their products are going live. And we actually have we have been broad basing these segments also. We have added open banking last time, so these segments keep growing as the market demands for new products, new segments. Next slide, Shashank. This could be, I mean, this is one of our, one of the proud moments for us as Digital Fifth. We pulled off the largest event in 2019, largest fintech event. We had 850 participants coming from all over India and across globe. We had, I mean, the entire Lalit was actually abuzz on that day with the fintech awards participants. I mean, we have done, I mean, this was well supported by the industry. We had some of the best speakers, best workshops that has happened so far. Organizations like EY, NPCI, they all have tested this platform to run their workshops. Phenomenal workshops, they were all full. Next slide, Sachin. We do a lot of ecosystem landscape and customized reports. This again is basically the objective is to bring the ecosystem closer. We pick up these topics. These are not sponsored reports. These are our own reports which we do out of our own passion. We have done on Indian fintechs, the rise of Indian fintechs. Middle East report we have done. Middle East report started as a customer facing report, which we eventually made it as an open market report. Next slide, Shang. This is a list that we have been releasing now. So there are two lists that we release. One is a fintech influencer report, which comes on 31st of December. 30th of June is when we are now launching our open banking influencer list. Again, the entire objective is, and we also release one more list on 31st of December, which is the trends, top trends, which we see for the subsequent year. So if you look at it loosely, the reports, the influencer list of open banking and fintech and the trends, we basically are predicting where the market is actually moving towards, which eventually comes true also. We'll talk about it maybe in this session, how one of our recommendations has actually seen the light of the day. Shashank, next slide. So these are some of the most viral landscapes that I think that have happened in the last 1 year, if I have to say. We do now one on digital, digital banking. We do one on digital lending. We do one on open banking. The idea is to basically let people be aware, let corporates be aware of the numerous players that are operating in the space. Lot many people do not know other than some select names. So idea is to make them aware. Again, people startups do get business. They get a lot of inbound leads when we do that. They are very thankful of it. This also helps us in actually running our partnership program. So as and when we get a lot of customers interest asking for specific products, and we refer to these charts. Customers also now refer to these charts. Next slide, Sachin. Yeah. So this is about all about our consulting work. Shashank will take you through this.
Yeah. Thanks, Shrikant. Thanks. So, hi friends. Warm welcome to you to our webinar. So, I'm Shashank Shekhar. I take care of the consulting practice and being part of the Digital Fifth almost more than a year. Prior to that, I've been working with the DCB Bank from almost for 8 years, where I was driving the entire digital banking, the open banking, the relationship, where the fintech alliances I used to work on, and then also was taking care of the infra. And prior to that, I've worked with Wipro and L&T Infotech on the technology and security services. So just we wanted to give you the glimpse of the consulting, primarily to tell you that how the deep understanding that we bring on the table by working with the various kind of solutions for our customers. And mostly, if you look at it, that we have been working with a BFSI customer as well as the fintech. So like one of the fintech, like Happy, we have been almost been running as a CTO on board, work and the product head on the solutions, defining the entire process model, the business model, the technology stacks, continuous monitoring, and making that entire the lending flows has been completely digitized on the platforms. On the other side, the lending, then we have worked on the payment side where we help the one bank, private bank in India to define their entire payment strategy. Very interesting work we have done with one of those MFIs in Myanmar, where we help them into the reset the entire the digital lending flow, where we looked at the entire business process of the lending, and we retook that entire modeling and the automation internally supported for the process, and we reduced the dispersal time from 15 days to 3 days. That's a work that we have done that. Then couple of things that we have worked very closely on the fintech space, where we have worked with Mumbai Fintech Hub and as well as the NPCI onto setting up the global API sandbox. So you guys might have heard of the platform called Infinite from NPCI, or the sandbox from the Mumbai Fintech Hub. So what we are trying to work with these two entities, that we are setting up an API sandbox, where most of the fintechs in the earliest stage of the startup find it very difficult to reach out to the right set of the APIs, which they can use it to while they're building the products, so they can see the viability of the product. And once it's working, then they can reach out to the respective API providers. So that's where objective is, that one stop, all the APIs across the financial services, they should have the access. Then we worked with one of the customer in Middle East to help them their entire payment business. So they were into the POS side, and then we completely rescaled that based on their strength, the market potentials across the payments. We redesigned their payment strategy, then business strategy. So these are the kind of the works. Very interestingly, also we have been working with a couple of fintechs to redesign their go-to-the-market strategy, as well into the product revamp strategy. So how the product need to be redesigned from the market expectation, what the market is moving towards, what that tweaking need to be required. So we have been helping them. These are a very high level of some glimpse that we wanted to bring on the table. On the training side, we have been massively doing, so earlier we used to do that primarily the physical classroom training, which primarily was a masterclass kind of the training. Now we have moved into pure online training, where we have been looking on 2 days of extensive open banking certification, the digital lending, deep digital lending certification, then digital banking, then cybersecurity also. And then apart from that, we took the corporate trainings on the very specific, like, so for example, currently we are doing engage with a civil, where we are taking an innovation session on the various topic on a month-on-month basis. We are taking session on the Flipkart also on that setting up that digital lending business. So that's where we have been engaged with the ways, and these are the kind of some of the numbers that you can see on the table that we engage on the training. And our training structures are very deep engaged, the knowledge structure, and with the fundamentals as well as the experience from the table. So I'll just talk about it. So these are the kind of the participants. Participants have come from, these are the various companies on the various these workshops. So probably we call it a one on the certifications program, but that actually you can take it as a knowledge workshop. So how do we structure that entire program, that we will have the fundamentals sessions on the topics, like then the digital lending, so fundamentals on the credit, the workflows, and different business model, while also we'll bring the industry expert, 8 to 10 industry expert from across that, like digital lending, we'll have from the KYC, you will have the session from the credit, you will have from the different models like SME, P2P lending, and they coming and talking about that, how they have been built that entire the models. And then also coupled with that, we'll have the workshop among the sessions, where the groups will be formed and they jointly work together and build the entire the digital lending business use case. So that's where it's a 2 days of almost like 24 to 28 hours of the deep engagement that we drive. So that's I was talking about that we try to bring the various mentors. So that's why where reach comes to that we try to get that as much the leading voices and leading experts on the subject. We try to bring on the table. Like say for example, some of the names are here who have taken either open banking sessions or the digital banking sessions. While we get that others guys also we try to get. This is very illustrative. So these are the some of the again. So one side we have given you very glimpse of the some of the work that we have done, but this is the kind of the landscape that we have been working with on the customers, and this is the like mostly on the fintech side of things where we are deep engaged, either helping them into the continuous as an advisory for the longer period and helping them into the various, be it the business model, be it in the go-to-market strategy, be it in the investment connect, be it the partnership connect. So that's deeply, or some of the things maybe engage on the very time-bound activities on a very particular relationship and the problem statement. So both the way we operate with most of the fintechs. So before we get into that, one of the unique story also we'll just talk about that Stalaps. So Stalaps is an IoT based one of the startup in Bangalore, which is primarily into the milk collections and the milk collections from the remote areas. And what they do that they collect the milk on their, they have the IoT based device on which the milks are collected from the farmers, and then milks are being moved to chiller and from the chiller to dairy. And once the dairy receives the milk and dairy disburse the money to the farmers after 15 days and 20 days kind of the period. So Stalaps wanted to set up the entire the digital lending structure since they all, we suggested them since they already have the farmer history about that, what kind of the milks that he has been giving to the Stalaps and then to the dairy, what kind of the business that he's been generating, and based on that kind of the credit we can create a credit model, and then entire the digital lending model can be created, and then we help them to connect with the partners, setting down the business model, the financial model around that kind of thing, and then continues to see that also that those integration being successfully done on the ground also. So now that's coming to that, we have seen that what kind of expertise that we bring on the table, be it on the consulting expertise, on the understanding of the business models across the fintech, be it in the payments, be it in the lending, be it in the open banking. Then again, our deep connect with the markets, and then our expertise on the training. That's why why we bring that our value proposition on the table. Like one of the first things we define our fintech ecosystem. We continuously keep on looking at Indian fintech ecosystems across that the payment, the digital lending. We design that, we draw that, we know that, we keep on tracking that who are the players, what kind of the transition that they have been doing, what kind of movements are happening within the ecosystem, what kind of the investment structures are evolving. So that's we keep on looking that. Second most important is networking. So you have seen that we try to connect with most of the banks and the FIs and especially their key stakeholders. Many of the challenges that fintechs have been facing, and that when they try to connect with the banks and the right side of the customers, reaching out to the right stakeholder, the right decision maker has always been a challenge, and where the fintechs many other times get lost in this big universe. So there we try to come and help that, making sure that in the first meeting itself happens with the right decision maker, the right value drivers within the organization. So there we try to bring that entire the value. So even the fintech bazaar, as Srikanth said, we try to get that why there has been so many deals has been able to successfully complete it, because we bring the right decision maker on the table. Then a strong experience of the mentorship about our individuals, the Samis and the journey in this fintech ecosystems, Srikanth's deep understanding in the ecosystem, and then our connect with the mentors. So you have seen that as we have been talking about, across most of our sessions, we try to get 8 to 10 mentors from wide experience zones. So we have to deep reach out to the mentors, deep connect with the founders, experts, the bankers, the financial institutions and investors. So that's where that we bring in the table. As we've spoken about, since we define the fintech ecosystem, we have the deep connect with that, the fintech ecosystem. Also, we keep on, since we are doing the regular trainings and working on the consulting assignment of these fintechs and all these things, that has given good insight of the entire the business model. Be you talk about SME lending, you talk about the P2P lending, or on the other side, you talk about the payment gateway or the wallet kind of the business. Like I was talking about for the our customer in the Middle East. We set it down the entire journey to the payment gateways. They were the POS player, and now they have already successfully in the last 6 months they have launched the payment gateway business in the Middle East market. So that's why we have a deep understanding of various business model across the products. On the open banking, we have set up the open banking for our previous organization and worked with the fintech. So we have been helping with some of the neobanks to evolve. And last not the but least, but deep relationship with the investors. As we have seen, we bring the investors also into our sessions and their views that how that particular segment is evolving, like digital lending. Ganesh from the Kura has come and he's spoken about that. How does he view the digital lending? How does digital lending is evolving from the Kura perspective? So that's, we have the deep connects with the investors. So these are the critical factors that we bring in the table, and that's we want to put onto the tables when we run the accelerator, entire accelerator.
Yeah, in fact, maybe I'll take it from here. So the key pointer I want to talk about to all of you is that while it all looks okay, saying good that we guys could do it, will it work for us, right? That's most important for us. What is in it for you, right? So what we are saying is that on one side, we are saying that we'll give you and guide you and all of that we will do. We are not from a money perspective. Of course, we really can't afford that much. We are ourselves startup. So we know your pain, because we also are going through the same pain, because how do you raise funds, how do you move ahead, how do you hire teams and all. So what we will do for you is what we have gone through and built for ourselves. We have access, we have people with whom we can work. So what we will do is get you access to people, get you access, validate your product, validate your solutions, figure out what more can we do. So this is a typical what we do already in the market. We get you to in front of the customer so that you get customers. There'll always a knowledge gap which exists. We'll ensure that gets filled up, and either we will fill up or we will ensure that our mentor groups will also fill up. And from a money perspective, though of course we are not going to put a huge money, but definitely as a co-founder we will actually put a token money in your companies as well. So idea is that in accelerator side, while the fundraising will take its own time, external investors will take their own sweet time to come in, we will ensure that we will put some token money on it. So you will get access to us from a time perspective, us from a market access perspective, investor access perspective, and us also from a money perspective. We ourselves, three of us, will definitely put money on that in your companies, so that you get a starting point. So it's not psychological that okay, the real fifth is actually putting only their time, and it's like sweat equity, right? It's actually with sweat we will almost always will ensure that there's a token money involved, so that you realize that if something goes wrong, we also will feel bad about it. It's an Indian psychology. I was talking to the investor and he said that that's what you should do. Where we are on the journey, maybe Shashank, can you just take the next slide, please? So from an ecosystem perspective, what kind of startups are we looking at it? We believe that what we are looking at is somebody who is actually market MVP ready. Now, it may have got rolled out to one customer or two customers, but at least it should be MVP ready. We are not an incubator. So we are not going to say, okay, we are yet to start your company and you will work with us and we'll help you in building. That's too early for us to build up. And that's not definitely we are looking at this stage. The accelerator will be largely around a B2B business. So we are looking at somebody who is in an early stage, has built up an MVP and has, for example, a B2B product itself in the market. And when I say B2B, it means that we are not looking at entities who are directly accessing and say, I will roll out my product, let's say Neobank directly for customers. I think this is a very, very huge initiative from a money perspective. And I do believe that we may be able to help them, but not from a B2B Connect, may not help you here. So I would look at somebody who was, let's say, doing a great AI/ML solution for some companies, or somebody who's doing maybe a B2B solution for reconciliation, or for trade finance, or for payments or lending. Somebody who's working closely for B2B segment, somebody who's enabling the system from a RegTech perspective. A lot of entities have now solved RegTech issues from a KYC side, right? Or maybe AML side. Is there more regulations which can be managed by you? Or an open banking platform, very similar to what many of them are right now building, like the way, if you look at Classify, Setu is doing a great job. Zeta is doing a great job. Somewhere in that horizon, or somebody who can actually build an Indian platform for API system, right? So today, everybody is in India is largely a foreign entity which has entered and created an API platform. Can you build an API platform? That's a segment we are looking at. We're looking at somebody who can build a great blockchain use case, but with a reality in picture, right? Not for PR, but for actual work. Or maybe somebody who can do a great AML solution, or maybe something else. So we are looking at somebody who's actually on the B2B side more than B2C, maybe in the cohort. So cohort size is just 5 startups. We are not going to make it very large. We don't want to make it very complicated as well. So 5 startups is what we are looking at it as of now. And then this segment, definitely not looking at somebody who's building a pure payments business and say, I want to roll it out to directly to the customer. And I want to compete head on with either a PhonePe or a Paytm or on other side, maybe EasyTap or somebody else. That's not the segment we are looking at. We are looking at somebody who are enabling some B2B site. And that's where I believe the next set of revolution is going to be happening. Of course, 1 or 2 very exceptional companies we will be happy to do, but out of 5, I think 4 will be from these segments. 1 can be exceptional startup, which is in slightly different segment. And we are happy to take it. We are not saying no. We will figure out if there is some company on InsurTech side, we'll be very happy to have, but definitely not a pure B2C companies. And these are the timelines right now we're looking at. We already have around, as I said, 20-25 startups already have applied for it. We basically are starting our formal campaigns now. And by 15th of August, we believe that we'll be around 60 to 70 startups joining us. And we will do one-on-one interactions. So we are not saying that we will not meet you. Of course, if you're out of the purview of our segment, we may come back and say we will not meet, we will say our apologies, but otherwise we'll try to ensure that we interact for 45 minutes one-on-one with each one of you. Around end of this next month, we'll announce the startup cohort, selected cohort, and then of course we'll start the program somewhere around after that in October, and then we'll go all the way to January. It is going to be fully virtual. We are obviously not looking at any physical location because of the current corona issues. But I do believe that while people will think that in corona days businesses are not happening, business is happening. We have ourselves done a lot of deals, and a lot of people are buying because the need for digital and specifically on B2B side is very, very high. People looking for solutions in each and every area. With this, I think I stop right away, and I think we are happy to take questions. You guys can send a chat request back to us, and Shashank, you can remove the slide so that at least we can see each other. So please ask questions, anything which you want to do over chat. Or even if you aren't want to ask, so chat will be preferred. But if you have anything else you want to ask, also you can ask. So I think, and the chat will come directly to us. I think the first question has come primarily, again, I think the question is about the size of cohort. What if you're not selected in 5? I think it's not that 5 cannot become 6, but definitely not a larger one. So if we do believe that you can add value, we'll be happy to have you on board because together we can create a much bigger value for the ecosystem. So I think we are looking at 5, but 5 can become 6, but definitely not a large one because we can't, we are not ourselves a 12-member team. We really can't support beyond a point. It's again a capacity issue. That's what we are sort of layering at. Any other question which anybody has? Shashank, you have got, you can ask, or maybe anybody else has got, you can ask right now. You can also send a chat request back to me. Yeah. So the next question which has come is, so the question which has come is, how much is the amount of token money which is there and what will be the range? I think definitely we are looking at anywhere between 5 to 10 lakhs. We will define that when the activity happens for each startup. Exact definition we have not done. Again, as I said, it's a token amount. It's not really a funding amount because we ourselves are running a startup, but as a group, we will definitely invest some money into it. Later on, of course, we will look. We are also getting our mentors on board, our advisor on board, and all that journey will continue. So as of now, many of them have committed back to us, saying that many angels have committed that if you invest, we'll also invest. But I think I'll not really want to commit right now. I think what we can commit is that as a group, 3 of us will ensure that from a company side, we'll ensure that 5 to 10 lakhs will go into your companies. But definition, exact amount we will define based on your stage and equity, which we take. And definitely we are looking at equity from your side. We will definitely not charge anything to any of the startups. It's all available based on sweat equity only, no charges anywhere else to anyone to be charged at all. And of course, nobody's going to travel, right? So that way the costing is easier for all of you guys and of course for us. In terms of, I think the other question which has come is that in the COVID case, how will the engagement happen? I think, I mean, I've seen as of now, at least the engagements are very, very good in terms of the way we do on Zoom and others. It has worked very well for us. Even today, when we are running our activities, we are able to run a lot of same acceleration on the commercial side. So right now we run with at least anywhere between 6 to 10 companies, accelerate them. But on the revenue side, we actually charge them. So we have seen it working. That's why we are doing it here. And of course, investors are also looking at reaching out to us if we can, if they can invest in our company. So this is sort of, it'll work. I don't think it's an issue at all. Given that digital has got a different fillip because of Corona, it should move up. Just one sec. Let me just see more questions. I think the question which has come up from Sumit is that if someone is looking at to explore Ocane as an LSP, would that qualify as an accelerator? Yes, actually no, because as an idea, we really will not be able to support, because we want to ensure that it's an accelerator, it's not an incubator. So at this stage, if we take you, I think by the time you develop your product, it'll be at least maybe 1 year or 9 months to 1 year, and beyond that, we will be able to get you into the structure. So I think it's a bit early for you to jump into it. Accelerator is not the right spot. You may look at incubators, and there are a lot of good incubators which exist in the country. I think Ahmedabad runs a very decent, I think CMIE or something like that. They run it very well. That may be a right spot. But yeah, I'm game if you. I mean, we can always discuss offline on that, but definitely not as part of the accelerator. The next question which has come is from Prusharth. So I think the question which is there is that I think one of our participant runs a lends to Kirana shop on FLDG, and would you consider as B2B or B2C? I think from my perspective, I look at you as a B2C because it's a slightly larger, and we basically can't get you access to those Kirana shops. So we really may not be able to help you much on that side, which is not a great thing. We can help you. For example, our value will reduce because if we work with you, we can help you in building it, getting you a lender for that, helping in scaling up, technology, process, product, all of that we can do. But we can't help you in market access because market access is actually slightly on the other side. And we may not be able to contribute to that because you need Kiranas, right? I don't have access, and three of us don't have access to Kirana framework right now, at least right now. Maybe we can get you to POS guys, but not beyond that, So it's an exceptional if it happens and you are doing a fabulous job, and if we can contribute, why not? But not generically, Okay, I got your point. Okay, I got your point. There's this question that how big will be the funding which will happen as part of the post accelerator? I think difficult to say. As I said that upfront, from our planning perspective, we'll definitely contribute. We'll obviously get your company valued, and we'll definitely want to take a small stake. We definitely are not looking at any large stake at all, small stake. But because then you should have your own sort of space to grow, right? Because otherwise you give to us, it will not be a great idea. But on the other side, I think we obviously will work with with investors to ensure that they meet you and you. There's a value which they can see that definitely will invest. But of course, we are not making any false promise. When the investment happens, only then you will see and we will see. So I think this will happen most likely towards the end of it, not upfront. More towards I think January period you should see investment. Of course, there are guys who are our friends and who will invest if we invest. That's a different question. I would really not go there. It is possible that anywhere between maybe $100,000 kind of investment is possible if we as a group come together, but I will not really take that as an answer right now. We have not gone ahead and asked enough of our friends for that. At least few of them are already ready for it. They're just waiting for us to say yes, but that's a slightly futuristic. Shashank, anything you got? Any questions? I think you're on mute.
I haven't got anything. I think because it could be I'm not co-host.
Okay, so all coming to me.
Shrikant, did you get any?
No.
Okay. Again, coming back to the timelines and structure, I think we will work from a operating perspective how it will operate. So basically, the question was how exactly it will operate. Of course, we'll get into the review process with each one of you upfront. But once the cohort starts, or even before that, we'll ensure that you have access to our activities like FinTech Bazaar, where you will start meeting our customers, which typically CXOs from banking world and financial services world, and all who. I'm not talking about random people, actually who come on board. So you'll get access to them from a one-on-one meeting for presenting your solution. So market validation will happen faster. Today, you may take at least 6 to 9 months to meet at least 15 banks, and then figuring out would they want their product or not. So that access we'll quickly provide. Of course, we can add more layer to it. We'll do one-on-one activities. In terms of consulting, we obviously will work with you a lot. Dedicated time will be given by from a consulting side between 3 of us, and of course, our team will support you in the whole initiatives. We will ensure that there's a different amount of buzz which get created around your startup as well. So that if from a social media perspective, any support we can provide, we'll definitely work on it. As I said, some amount of money which we'll ensure that gets rolled out to you in the journey itself, rather than saying, if you'll contribute some money, we'll give it the end. Not really. We'll figure out a structure so that on milestone basis, we release those funds back to you so that you can at least use them for your own purposes. And of course, once the actual, and of course, we do a lot of very, very deep trainings, and you will have access to that as well. For example, in this month, and we on 29th and 30th, we are doing a digital lending course, which is typically attended by almost all CXOs and all senior guys and FinTech guys as well. So you will have access to that as well. And from an investor perspective, we'll plan meetings with these investors. We are also considering a mentor board. So therefore, we'll have at least 35 to 40 seniors from the industry. We will obviously ensure that this is relevant for your cohort. So it'll run in parallel. We already started building for it. We are building an advisory board of around 10 senior guys, and as well as the mentor board of around 40 odd guys from the market. And they will be coming and giving you access. Of course, we have to do a pre-selection. There'll be some sessions which are openly given, and some will be done one-on-one between you and them, so that you understand your perspective. If you have a problem statement, let's say you have a problem statement on scaling, on technology side, we'll ensure that somebody from who has a great cloud experience comes on board. So we'll ensure that it's also linked to your problem statement rather than them doing it randomly. So I think my view is, with 5 startups being there, we will have the bandwidth to sort of create that structure. So knowledge, access to partnerships, bit of money from our side, and of course access to our investor community. And that these are the 3-4 pieces which we intend to provide in this whole accelerator, which will run for around 4 months end to end. One of the questions which has just come is that would we provide support beyond that? Answer is yes, because it's equity, our equity is involved, right? So we will definitely be on board with you to make you successful. There's absolutely no chance saying that, okay, once the cohort is over, who's you and who's us. For us, this accelerator is very, very extremely critical. We have taken 3 years to build it up because we wanted to ensure that we are good in each of these segments, and we are doing it now. So for us, it is not just about doing just one other activity. We don't run it in a so-called professional way. It is actually our reputation also on the table to ensure that you are successful. So I do believe that I typically don't believe in stats that out of 100 companies, maybe 2 will be successful and this and that. When we are selecting 5, we ought to do a better job. And I do believe that out of 5, there's a fair chance that all of them will do well, because we ourselves will be on board on the companies. And for your success and our success is exactly the same. Of course, we are not Y Combinator, and we do want to become maybe not be as large, but as impactful as it is in Indian context. And that's what we are looking at. We are looking at India as an entity. And we are not attracting people from outside India at all. We are looking at India startups and only for this segment. So I think this is very, very niche, and we should be able to pull off well. Then there is a question. There's a startup who's running a phygital collection. Can we be part of the cohort? Answer is yes. As long as you are, I'm not looking at, so any which way, all business in India is phygital. Very rarely it's pure digital. And as long as we are moving toward digital and you're helping the ecosystem, I'm all good for it. We should be able to sort of handle that. And this is part of the code because this is where we can take you to the market, help you in the ecosystem. That's our forte. Sandeep, your question is, what are all the prerequisites of being a part of accelerator program? I think from as I said, primarily you should be having an MVP already in place. So we will validate the MVP, usability of it, and ideally I would love if you have at least 1 or 2 customers, so that some bit of validation has already happened. That is not a showstopper, but definitely is preferable. You should be making at least some money, if not millions, at least. Even if the revenue numbers is 50,000 rupees, it's okay, but at least some revenue structure is useful. Then we can take it to the next level. So we are not looking at too much. We are also looking at from a startup perspective, at least not a single co-founder, honestly, maybe exceptions. But I would love if it is more than one co-founder, because the loads of startup is very high, and just one startup, one founder is very difficult. So I'm not having a very complicated structure. We want to work with you to understand it rather than create some very random rules which don't work. And we are anyways, we are not creating a very scaled cohort. At least the first one is going to be 5. We ought to work with you and ensure that you like us, we like you. It's finally a game of chemistry, right? Otherwise, ज्ञान तो कोई भी दे सकता है, right? ज्ञान तो कोई भी दे सकता है, but it should work, right? So we are trying to ensure that whatever we talk about, we actually work with you to materialize finally. If we can help in a commercial side and help the companies grow, when we are coming on the equity side, we ought to do a better job at it, right? I think I have run out of questions right now. Anything else anybody wants to ask? I'm very happy to sort of respond, and my team is happy to respond. Shashank and Shrikant, both of us, all 3 of us will be on board. So for example, Shrikant will primarily help you in the market access. He's an expert on the sales side, so he'll take you to the market access side. And Shashank is deep on technology and digital side, so he will take you on open banking, all of that, we can take it. And of course, we can figure out how much hours we will give it to you. If we can figure out what the needs are, rather than say, there's a package of these many hours, I don't want to go there. I think that happens when we are running a machine, and we are definitely not running a machine. Then there's a question from Purshad. Can you elaborate a bit on your investor community and what kind of investors and ticket size? So I think what we are looking at is primarily seed investors and pre-series and series A. Beyond that, of course, this cohort is of no use for anybody larger than that. So my belief is that we should be able to, when these seed guys will come, seed guys will definitely not be giving more than overall ticket size of a group of seed investors will be not giving more than maybe 300,000 to 400,000 max as a group. But when it comes to slightly larger, of course, we are looking at entities all across. I will not name because it's not correct for me to name them, but almost a good number of investors which are already on board in terms of discussions. They've all said that they will come on board and review these companies. Nobody can commit that they will invest. If that was so, then the money was easy to flow. It's not that easy. But of course, almost all of them will be. So what I can commit is that all of our startups which come on cohort will be at least looked by 15 odd investors in this community. You will get a chance either through a proposal or through one-on-one these 50. How much it's materialized, I wouldn't really go there because then हम तो भगवान हो जाते थे अगर investors का ऐसा कराते थे. But yes, what I said is that's a game in play. If you accelerate through this journey and you scale, I'm sure startups or the founders or the investors will definitely come on board and help you. The next question which has come, and please, there's a feedback form which has already come in on the chat box. You can all respond back to it. Please look at it. This form is already there. The next question is from Apu. Shall a product created in learning and development for RegTech and compliance, specifically for financial services firms, to be considered for B2B or B2C? I think it's B2B because we have access to B2B, right? It can be on knowledge side. That's also fine. Knowledge on RegTech has been very poor in the market. So absolutely no issue. It will also work. It will also absolutely will work. So should not be an issue. Though, of course, we have to see how it actually fits in. But we are game for it as long as it's focusing on B2B, which is larger corporate, larger banks or smaller banks or fintechs. Any of them sort of can use it.
Yeah, also they can register with us, and if they share their preliminary deck, we can be able to, give you a more informed answer towards those questions,
In
whether they
fact,
qualify or not.
yeah, in fact, Shubhi, if you can send the link to registration page, it will be useful because till we see it, a lot of guys have reached out to us on WhatsApp and email. It's very difficult to respond. Not that we can't respond, but does get a bit chaotic as the numbers are soaring. So each one of us are holding some 5 to 10 startups with us, and then some 20 are there in our, or 25 are there in our list. So it is useful if we can all fill those forms, and then the documents are with us. We will definitely evaluate that. So that will be useful if Shubhi, you can add that link right here. That will be good. But go ahead and submit those details. Of course, at this stage, my request is give whatever limited you would want to share at this stage, because you don't want to throw your IP on the table. That's pretty fine. I appreciate that. But some level of details will help us in identifying that will it fall in our line or not, and then we can plan one-on-one calls. Uh, uh, I think the question which has come from Purusharth is, would you take a board seat? No, we will not take a board seat at all. We will remain an advisor. We don't want to take board seat. In fact, as a company, a lot of banks and larger institutions have come for board seats. We don't take board seats. I don't want to get into an environment where people, typically when we scale, a board position creates problems for us. We are primary consultants, and we love in this. I mean, it's not that we are changing our direction. Our business remains there, and therefore we will never take a board position at all. Absolutely no. Maybe the other question from Bushat is, what about the other shareholder terms? Maybe you want to ask this question right away. What is running in your mind, and then I'll respond much better.
So yeah, I mean, my question was more towards, reserved. There are these reserved items in terms of issuance of shares, etc. I assume that you would be taking up some sort of a minority stake, right? And it may not be above 26%. So, or it may be, I don't know. So, what happens there?
No, I think let's put it like this: two structures. When we are coming on board, definitely we are minor shareholders. I mean, if somebody expects, we are going to invest 5 to 10 lakhs, and we are not expecting a high valuation out there. So we are going to take a very minor share. Of course, when the investors come, that's your lookout, right? It's finally the investors, and your terms are important that both of you agree on the valuation and the percentage you want to do. Of course, if you were to give a 26%, it will be too high, I guess, at this stage. But that's your choice and their choice. Why would I get into and push it? But the only thing is that a lot of times startups get into very, hype situation. They get lost. When they get offers, they don't take it. But I will leave it there. We don't force anything like that, at least right now. Even whatever advices none of them have pushed in that direction. So I think what will happen is that we will take a minor stake, and then when the investors will come, ideally that series you should give only around, I think 15% is the ideal one you should release, and that should be okay, I guess.
So I mean, I'll just reposition my question a bit. So do you seek any protections for your minority stake?
Of course we will. Of course we will, because that is so. This is a funny part which early stage investors have told me, is that the best part is that the value of early stage guys vanishes very quickly. So definitely we'll ensure that the protection is made available. नहीं तो मैं धंधा काय को कर रहा हूँ, right? अपने को प्रोटेक्ट नहीं कर पाया तो मैं क्या एक्सेप्ट कर रहा हूँ, मैं अपना लॉस कर दूंगा, right? So we will definitely need protection there.
The way we also see it is you will require much beyond this 4 months cohort. We will ensure that we add that value to the to the program. Be it be market connects or mentoring or the kind of guidance we give you on.
No, actually, Shrikant, what typically happens, and this is the real one, told me, is that somebody comes with a, let's say, next round check of, let's say, $10 million, and then all the other guys are only the staircase, right? So चढ़ के निकल जाते हैं, वो होता ही है. So we have to ensure that we get protected, right? Absolutely. हम कोई सरकारी आदमी नहीं है कि पैसा देके छोड़ देंगे, भगवान नहीं है, नॉर्मल इंसान है, आप ही की तरह धंधा करते हैं. और ये ऐसा पैसा वाला वैसा वाला पैसा नहीं है कि पेरेंट्स ने दिया, वो क्या कहते हैं, वो एंसेस्ट्रल प्रॉपर्टी बेच के निकला है, ये हमारा प्रोफेशनल पैसा है. सो इट्स ऑल हार्ड अर्न मनी. Yeah. Any other question, guys? And for registration, I think Shubhi has already sent you the link. Go ahead and
there on the chat box.
yeah, it's on the chat box. It's on the chat box.
And any questions that that you're not comfortable asking in the open form, in the in the feedback form, there is a column where you can share additional questions. We'll be happy to answer that.
Yeah, and you can ask any question, right? There's obviously this email ID called accelerator@thedigitalfifth.com. You can drop something here. Of course, it'll help in organizing meetings much better. Even if you want a meeting with us, we can plan that way as well. So it's not that this is the only place we are visible and available. If you need a one-on-one chat, post submission, which you want to invoke rather than we invoking, you want to invoke a quick half an hour chat with us, we are game. There's no problem. We can plan on this weekend, next weekend. We can figure out ways and means to do it. So no issues at all if any of you want to have a chat with us. Just that you have to apply through that link so that we are aware of it and our team will reach out to you. And you will obviously have access to us. I mean, so maybe Shashank, you can show the email ID where they can send any request, any issues. Of course, our IDs are also available. I mean, most of you will already be aware of our direct access as well. I can see a lot of guys already know, will have already access to us. You can obviously reach out to us as well, one-on-one. But I will prefer if at least you lodge your request in the system, which is accelerator@thedigitalfifth.com. Yeah, accelerator@thedigitalfifth.com. Yeah. Anything else before we close? We are almost towards the end of the session. Anything else? Shashank, Srikanth, anything you want to say?
No, I think we have covered mostly whatever we had to say.
Take it. If nothing is coming, thank you guys, and let's meet up again. So we will have one more webinar coming up a week or two down the line. And if there are more questions, you can obviously ask us directly. Otherwise, we are back with another webinar on this. It's almost like a roadshow. We had planned it like a roadshow in different cities. I think it's coming slightly different. With this, thank you guys. See you. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you guys.